Hey, Kentucky, this is Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, Governor Beshear moves up the reopening schedule. High schools announced their alternative graduation plans, and a UK basketball assistant is back in the headlines. All that and more is next on Hey, Kentucky. Welcome to Hey, Kentucky with LEX 18 Sports Director Keith Farmer. TGIF, Keith, happy weekend. It's almost here.
So glad, and it sounds like at least, well, we've had a couple of great days last couple of days. Let's hope the rain stays away, though.
I know. At least the temperature's warming up because I can't take that anymore. All right. And good thing because we are going to be reopening. Governor Beshear is beginning to ease some restrictions earlier than previously thought. He is giving the go-ahead for small gatherings of 10 people or fewer next Friday, May 22nd. That's 3 days earlier than originally announced, coming just in time for Memorial Day weekend.
We realize that people are making plans for Memorial Day. And I trust that we can do this right, that we can do this safely, and I'd much rather get out there with some good guidance and rules if a number of people are going to do this anyways.
Another restriction being eased next Friday, the state's recently amended travel ban. Beshear says he now feels more comfortable with how neighboring states are doing, but the governor warned that this isn't permission for people to travel wherever they want, and people should check ahead to see how other areas are faring before visiting. The governor also noted that people who are 65 or older or medically vulnerable should continue to stay healthy at home. And Keith, it is nice to see that there has been some flexibility on these dates without seeing, a big spike in cases.
What, did he not think we were going to pay attention to all those rules? Is that what he was talking about? And so he eased up.
You can't
on
be
it
doing
a little
that.
bit. Look, yeah, the only part that kind of bothers me is the travel. If I feel like I want to travel, I've been at home this whole time, I'm not worried about it. I think I can do that just fine. And, as long as I'm not going to some, huge gathering of people together. And so I think we can all take care of things ourselves.
Yeah, and so far we haven't seen like giant spikes even in surrounding states yet. So Lexington Mayor Linda Gordon says the city wants to help restaurants as they prepare to reopen next Friday. To maintain social distancing, Governor Beshear has said eating establishments are only allowed to fill 33% of their tables. So Gordon is offering plans to expand seating by putting tables on adjacent sidewalks, in parking lots, and possibly into streets that can be closed off. The mayor says the details are still in the works and that the city will have to suspend code, permit, and fee requirements to allow restaurants and retail businesses to expand their footprint outdoors, initially for a 3-week period with an opportunity to extend that if needed. And Keith, I know many restaurants are excited about this opportunity to be able to have more people come to their establishments.
Yeah, I love this idea. Obviously it's coming up because they're trying to get the tax money, rolling through the city again. It definitely would help there. But also, I would be more than happy to get stuck on a street, have to go around a street in order to see some tables out there next to a restaurant. I love the idea.
And it would maybe be a fun way to hang out with your friends again. That sounds cool. Yeah. So some Kentucky workers, though, are waiting to see when their employers will try to bring them back to work from furlough because they're going to face a tough decision. Those employees could lose their jobless benefits if they decide that returning to work is not safe. People in that position might be able to keep getting unemployment if they're willing to navigate a whole lot of red tape. But if their employer is offering a work-from-home option or complying with all the safety regulations required to reopen, benefits will likely be denied. Although there are exceptions for workers who are over age 65, have weakened immune systems, or serious chronic health diseases such as heart disease, lung disease, or diabetes. And Keith, if your employer says you can either work from home or they've done everything they can do to keep it safe, I understand that we're all afraid of something, so we can't give unemployment to anyone who doesn't want to go into work.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they've made this known that they're going to look at it on a case-by-case basis. But if you really don't have a reason, if your employer has done everything, then you're going to have to go on in, and otherwise you do lose those benefits, which I'm sure people don't want to do.
They don't, but This is the new normal. All right, schools across America, including right here in Kentucky, are adjusting to the realities of graduation season altered by the pandemic. On its last day of school, Wednesday, May 27th, Fayette County will collaborate with City Center and 104.5 The Cat to celebrate the class of 2020 with a musical light show tribute. Then on May 28th and 29th, seniors will have a chance to see their teachers one more time during a parade. High schools will hold on-campus drive-through diploma distributions during the first week of June, along with the virtual ceremonies on the district's TV station. Seniors in Lee County held a special socially distanced graduation ceremony last night. They turned out for pictures at a local park, and a big screen display was set up to share images with the crowd. And coming up tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, a video submitted by the Kentucky Department of Education will be aired during the national Graduate Together telecast, which airs on NBC and other major networks and their streaming partners. And Keith, that graduation thing is going to be pretty awesome. There's like the list of celebrities involved in that is enormous.
It's really cool. And not only that, just I love the one of the drive-through, so you can go through and see your teachers again. And then for smaller schools like Lee County, I'm not sure how many seniors they had, but you can have a socially distanced graduation, I'm sure, in person. And so I just love all the different ideas, what people are coming up with to try and help these kids to have somewhat of a normal graduation, even though we know it's not what it normally is.
Not normal, but definitely memorable the way that they have gotten creative with it. All right, let's turn to UK basketball. Assistant coach Joel Justice was back in the headlines this week. He's been ranked by ESPN as one of the top coaches in the country, under 40 years old. The list is comprised of both head coaches and assistant coaches. Justice, who is 38 years old, checked in at number 25 on the 40 under 40 list released on Wednesday. Coach Cal reacted to the news, saying he thinks that he has the best staff in the country and that Justice, along with fellow assistants Kenny Payne and Tony Barbie, could lead their own programs, including Kentucky's, and we know they could. Tony Barbie has led his own program. Joel Justice was just a finalist for one. We know Kenny Payne could. He does have a pretty great staff.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's hard to leave Kentucky for two reasons. For one, you're just in a great program. You're in a great situation where you can see a lot of success, both as a program and see those individuals succeed. And then also, this school just pays more when it comes to those, assistant coaches. You can get so much more here. He's probably going to take a pay cut if he'd have gone to East Tennessee State. So, it's kind of those kind of catches that make you decide whether to stay or go.
Exactly. And you don't have to take all the heat either, and you still get paid well, which is nice. Now in Hey Kentucky, in case you missed it, a review of recent headlines. State leaders are calling for more scrutiny over the price of beef as the pandemic stretches on. Some stores still have limits on how much meat people can buy due to reported meat shortages nationwide. Restaurants say they're running into problems too. Governor Beshear has appointed a new commissioner of the Department of Corrections who will lead the state's prison system through the crisis. Cookie Cruz has 36 years of experience in corrections, having led 4 prisons and the agency's Health Services Division for the past 8 years. And Louisville voters who want to cast their ballot in person for the June primary will have one place to turn, the Kentucky Exposition Center at the State Fairgrounds. It will accommodate the more than 2,000 different ballot styles, e-poll books, scanners, and voting booths. Up next on Hey Kentucky, we'll take a look at the mental health impact of the COVID-19 crisis. I'll talk with a doctor from KBC Kentucky up next.